been on the Common Ground server for over a week. That's kind of weird for me. I'm on almost every day, depending on my schedule, obviously life, what's going on. But yeah, typically it's very rare for me to go more than 2 days without being on the server. So where have I been? Well, first, we updated the server to 26.2, which means hopefully in this episode, we'll do a little exploring to find some sulfur cubes and some of the new blocks as well. But that only took a little bit. The real reason why I haven't been on for a week is I've been doing some research, some IRL research. And with that research came some travel. So let's throw some of those pictures from my trip on screen. That's right, I went caving in real life at Mammoth Cave National Park in Kentucky. And what an absolutely incredible time that was. It was mind-blowing to be in caves over 500 feet below the surface, in these huge expansive caverns, and through some very skinny, tight caverns as well. But all in all, it was such an amazing time. And where are my villagers? Where are my villagers? Oh no. Oh no. This is not good. Okay, detour. Getting distracted here. Our villagers seem to have died really bad and sad. I'll have to see if anyone knows anything about that. Anyway, not only were the caves amazing and have given me great ideas for a cave we can do in our national park, the cliffs in the national park were very close to what I have planned for these cliffs. So just with a few tweaks, I can take that inspiration and bring it back into our park here. And we walked some trails over the cave as well, which really helped put my mind into the right creative place to create some of our own hiking trails. The hope for today's video is to build our visitor center. And I've been working on a design back and forth for a couple weeks, and I just hate it. But in visiting this national park, I also, of course, visited their visitor center, as I have with many other visitor centers. This one was beautiful. I really like the architecture, and I think it would fit right in Salami National Park. So we are going to try to recreate it in a way to bring a version of it to our landscape. So what does that mean? Well, one, we're going to have to clear quite a bit of area. I want it sort of right here. My thought is you would enter, the nether portal would be inside the visitor center. So you would enter right in there. You can get all the information you need, book your campsite, get some trail maps, and then be out on your way. But with that said, this whole area kind of needs to come down. It is going to be a decent size. So my thought is even this hill probably needs to go. And honestly, all the trees right in this area, probably back to about here. Yeah, probably here over will need to come out, and then we can replant and make some changes, but to at least have a blank slate, that is what we'll need to do. As we're doing all that, I think I also want to fill in this shoreline here with water and just have this kind of drop off down. But it's quite a few things. Plus, we want to see if we could maybe get into the caves to find a sulfur cube. But I think for right now, my plan is going to be to start clearing this area. So I'm going to get some of my inventory settled. We're a little full from just random things we were working on, specifically that up there. I'm going to see if there's an update to either sodium or iris, whatever is making something's going on with these leaves. As you can probably tell, they kind of glitch a little bit. So maybe we can find a fix to that. Just saw it up there. And then we'll start clearing out in a quick little time lapse to start our episode. So with that said, let's get going. we've got a blank slate. I don't know if this is big enough. If we build what I have in mind to scale, it probably isn't. So we'll have to make a modified version of it, but it won't have to be modified too much. Basically, the way this, oh, don't want that there. The way this visitor center is set up is there's a entrance that kind of has a detail, and then it's just a bunch of repeating segments, probably about 7 on each side. I'll have to look at the pictures again. I took a lot of pictures, but I'm thinking if we cut those segments in half, we could probably fit something here that still kind of fits the design. But before we do that, oh, hello. Before we do that, I want to fly over to the shopping district to take a look at the newest shop, the newest addition. There it is in the distance. Look at this. This is Goob's newest shop. Isn't this incredible? It's a dye shop. When you take a look at it from up close, you see a lot more of the detail, but from far away, it just looks like, thank you, Flora. It looks like paint splatters all across this blank canvas. I am just in love with this design. I think it's so unique and such a good use of the glazed terracotta. So I don't really need any dyes, but I don't know. I mean, I want to support the guy because this is a beautiful shop. Out of stock. Okay, so these colors are out of stock right now. He's working on those. Most of this stuff up here is out of stock. Those are a little more difficult to get, but I know he's working on them. What a beautiful view. Excited to see that done. And of course, my shop. Actually, we probably should check if I've got anything over there. But I don't know. What kind of dye are we going to use the most? Let me look at my pictures real quick and see if I can find anything. Well, one thing I noticed is that my finger is in half of the pictures. So shout out to me for that. I think we could probably use some orange dye. What's the price? 32 for 1 diamond. Could probably use some orange dye. Just litter real quick. Okay. We'll take a little bit of this. And, oh, I don't know. Maybe some purple too. I don't have any plans for it, but just want to support the shop. Clear out some of our... I guess we should have done this the right way. There we go. I doubt I've made any more sales, as I don't think anybody's been building lately, but just to check. Yeah, that's okay. Our beacon in the distance. Let's head back and start talking about the design for the visitor center. You may notice that I kept this tree around. That's because this is from the very first day of Common Ground. Stripped by gold, 5/9/2026. It's a very sentimental tree, so we're keeping it. We maybe, I don't know, may be able to incorporate it, possibly, somehow. We'll see. But if we take a look above me, we can see some of the pictures that I took of this visitor center, and you can kind of see the guest is really happy as well. You can kind of see those segments I was talking about. We're going to try to recreate those, excuse me, with the stone columns and see what we can do about the crisscrossing structures leading up to the roof. Acacia fence posts seem to be perfect for that, but we'll see what we can do. We're going to do some testing in a creative world, and then we'll try to bring it in here. So that'll be our next step, unless, of course, we get distracted by something else. Oh my goodness. We have a lot of items in our inventory. Just about 5 shulker boxes full. Pretty much 5 shulker boxes full, but I have one more stop I need to make. And that is, of course, the shopping district. Now, we need just over a stack of ochre frog lights. Yes, I finally have a reason for frog lights. 1 diamond for 2. Okay. We need that many. We need that much. Okay. Let's pay that up. We should be good to go. Thankfully, I had to do a lot of deep slate mining for this. And we got a decent amount of diamonds from that. So we are good to go. Now, could go through the nether, or we could just fly home. Take the scenic route. Our beautiful fire tower is in the distance. So, as I take this flight to relax, I hope you can relax as you sit back, grab a snack, and watch us build this visitor center. Pause. I got ahead of myself. I talked earlier about how we couldn't really move this tree. And after designing this thing, I kind of got to move it, but we are going to move it exactly as it stands. So, what does that mean? It means I'm literally going to take a schematic of this. I'm going to tear it down and rebuild it with the exact same blocks. And that'll probably be the first thing we do with this build. So, I am going to do that, and then we will start our time lapse. Just know everything you see is the exact same tree. It's simply being replanted. Okay, now we can start our time lapse. This is a little odd for me. We pretty much have the exterior done, but that is kind of all I have time for today. I have so much more that I want to do to this building, and I simply do not have the time for it this week. For those of you that may not know, or who maybe are newer to the channel, in November of last year, I promised myself that I would dedicate as much time as possible to doing 1 episode per week for all of 2026. And so far, we have been good on that promise. Amazingly so. With the limited amount of time I have, we've been able to manage to get those out. And I was going back and forth about what to do with this because this week has been crazy. There's been some big things that have happened that have taken up a lot of my time. I'll probably talk a little bit about them on stream. I'm not quite ready to put them in a video just yet. But all that to say, I've been hard pressed for time. I realized I forgot to do these windows. We'll fill those in later. So it was either no episode or make this a 2-parter. This is the biggest build we've done so far. Right now it looks a little odd on the horizon with that just sharp drop off there, but that's kind of why I'm calling it for today. I want to continue the beach around. We're going to move our nether portal inside the visitor center in a little secret entrance, which is going to be so cool. One of our viewers helped with the design of that, and I will talk about that in the next episode. But if I were to finish this all today, I'd be rushing it. That's not fair to me, and it's not fair to you. So it felt like the exterior was a good stopping point. I mean, it's still a lot. It's a decent sized build. And the inside will have a lot of detail. We'll add some cool lighting. And one thing I do want to talk about on the inside, well, first, ooh, yeah, not good. I don't have a boat. Stay over there. Oh, no? Okay. Okay. Crisis averted. This here is going to be a gallery wall. It's going to be a gallery wall, and I'd like to put your art on that wall. If you have any outdoor themed paintings, drawings, digital art that you've done, send them in my Discord. Links in the description. There's an art showcase there. And just mention that you'd like it to be a part of the visitor center, and I will get it in here. This is something that I did in my Forever World, and I think it would be such a cool addition to our visitor center here. Many visitor centers have like exhibits and things that you can walk through, and this is my way of doing that. And I'd love to showcase my community in the process. So you don't have to get it in by next week, but as I'll continuously add to it. But if you do want to be featured in next week's episode, if you can try to get it in by Friday this week, that would be awesome. Give me some time to put together a data pack and we'll get it up on the walls. And then I'll put the data pack on the server so everyone that comes in can see your amazing art. One other thing that I may do to fill in some space is I may take some screenshots around. I got this idea from Mumbo Jumbo. He did something like this in one of his recent episodes. I think it would be cool just to take screenshots of some of the places around camp. As in a visitor center, that's the kind of pictures you would see. So lots of cool things planned for next episode. And I hope this half-finished project isn't too disappointing. But I know myself, and I knew that it was time to take a break. It'll allow me time to catch up and to get as much detail in here as possible to create something that I am proud of. But for now, this is a good start. It'll only get better. I appreciate you watching this episode, even if it may not feel like a full one. You spending your time watching these means the world to me, and I appreciate it more than you know. I am going to rest up a little bit, and I think you should too. Rest is good for the soul, it's good for the mind, and it's good for the body. Next week's episode, we'll finish up this visitor center, and we might even take a trip to some sulfur caves. I'd love to get that done as well. Maybe add that geyser to our waterfall. We'll see what happens. But for now, thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out. Until next time.